Attention, Minnesota Vikings fans. Today's news is sure to stir your emotions. Social media is on fire with the franchise's latest move, and we're going to tell you all about it firsthand. So, leave your like to strengthen our community, and if you're not a subscriber yet, sign up so you don't miss out on any news, and of course, take part in exclusive giveaways for subscribers. Now, let's get straight to the point. The latest Vikings news. Minnesota Vikings eye Baylor sprinter Monterey Baldwin. With the 2025 NFL Draft approaching, the Minnesota Vikings continue to analyze options to strengthen their roster. Despite the limited number of picks in this edition, General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has a history of surprising moves during the event, which keeps fans on the lookout for possible strategies for the franchise. The Vikings have been aggressive in their moves in recent years, and this offseason appears to be no different. Among the team's top priorities for the draft are reinforcements on the offensive and defensive lines. The need to improve quarterback protection and strengthen the defense against the run game are clear concerns for the coaching staff. Last week, Ben Goesling of the Star Tribune revealed that Oregon DT Derek Harmon is one of the team's top targets. But in addition to these needs, the Vikings are also looking for reinforcements for the secondary and the wide receiver core, areas that play a crucial role in building a competitive team. Vikings show interest in Monterey Baldwin. Last Sunday, Goesling announced on social media that the Vikings are keeping an eye on Monterey Baldwin, wide receiver for the Baylor Bears. The young college talent stood out for his impressive speed and ability to change the course of a play in a matter of seconds. Baldwin spent 4 seasons at the university, accumulating 99 receptions for 1,673 yards and 13 touchdowns. In addition, he had occasional participation in the ground game, totaling 178 yards and 2 TDs on 19 carries, showing his versatility and explosiveness with the ball in his hands. His best season was in 2023, when he recorded 38 receptions for 623 yards and 4 touchdowns. Known for his quickness and agility, Baldwin impressed at the Big 12 Pro Day by running the 40-yard dash in 4.32 seconds, a time that places him among the fastest receivers in this year's class. Despite his short stature, listed at 5 feet 9 inches, his profile fits perfectly with what the Vikings are looking for in Kevin O'Connell's offense. His ability to create separation from defenders and become a constant threat in the passing game is exactly what the team needs to complement their current offensive lineup. This trait also aligns with the recent signing of free agent Rondale Moore, another quick and explosive receiver. Moore, who had stints with the Arizona Cardinals, is looking to turn his career around and could serve as a role model for Baldwin if he is drafted by the Vikings. Together, they could form a dynamic and unpredictable offense, something essential to compete in an increasingly competitive NFC. Present and future needs at receiver. The Vikings need immediate options and are also thinking about the future of the position. Jordan Addison, a standout since his arrival with the team, has shown himself to be one of the most promising young players in the league. However, he is expected to miss 3 games this season due to a suspension stemming from his drunk driving arrest, which could impact the team's offensive production in the first matches of the season. In the long term, his permanence in the franchise is also uncertain, since the team may choose not to renew his rookie contract to avoid a large investment in the position, especially considering the value of $35 million per year paid to Justin Jefferson. In this scenario, strengthening the group of wide receivers becomes an essential strategy to maintain the competitiveness of the offense. Aware of this need, the franchise has already begun work to strengthen the sector. The arrival of Rondale Moore represents a first step, and the possible addition of Baldwin would further reinforce the strategy. With speed and agility, he could add a dynamic element to O'Connell's offense, offering the team a constant threat in explosive plays and bringing a new level of unpredictability to the offensive scheme. In addition, Baldwin would bring to the team a vertical playmaking ability that can challenge opposing defenses. The combination of Justin Jefferson, Addison, Moore, and potentially Baldwin would give the Vikings one of the fastest and most dynamic receiving core in the league. This depth in the area could be crucial to the team's success and a deciding factor in their quest for a winning campaign in 2025. The Minnesota Vikings' interest in Monterey Baldwin reinforces that the franchise is aware of the market and willing to invest in promising talent to keep its offense competitive in the coming years. It remains to be seen whether the team can acquire Baldwin in the draft and whether he can live up to expectations, but one thing is certain. The Vikings are determined to build an explosive offense that can challenge any defense in the NFL. Minnesota Vikings consider will leave his trade to strengthen quarterback position. The Minnesota Vikings are still active in the market in search of reinforcements for the 2025 season, and the quarterback position remains one of the team's biggest unknowns. While J.J. McCarthy prepares to take over as the starter, the franchise is considering alternatives to guarantee a safety option at the position. According to Mo Moton of Bleacher Report, the Vikings may seek an affordable trade to acquire Will Levis, currently with the Tennessee Titans. The proposed proposal would involve sending a fifth-round pick to the Titans, receiving Levis and a sixth-round pick in exchange. This move would give the team a young, still developing quarterback to compete in the preseason and act as a reliable option if McCarthy struggles throughout the season. Will Levis could restart his NFL career with the Vikings. Levis, selected in the second round of the 2023 draft, had ups and downs during his time with the Titans. In 2 seasons, he accumulated 3,899 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions, in addition to 240 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. However, his time in Tennessee did not yield the expected results, resulting in a negative record of 5-16 in games as a starter. In addition, he faced challenges with an unstable offensive line and a tactical scheme that did not favor his style of play, which may have hindered his development in the NFL. With 2 years remaining on his rookie contract, valued at $9.5 million, Levis becomes an affordable option for the Vikings, who already have McCarthy on a 4-year contract worth $22 million. This approach reinforces the franchise's strategy of investing in young and cost-effective players, allowing the team to maintain salary cap space to strengthen other areas of the roster. The Vikings' smart financial management has already paid off this offseason, allowing them to re-sign key players such as cornerback Byron Murphy Jr., in addition to strengthening the offensive and defensive lines. Securing a reliable backup quarterback without compromising the team's budget could be a key factor in the team's success this season. Kevin O'Connell could be a key piece in Levis' development. The big question mark surrounding Levis is his ability to become a viable option in the NFL. Despite his physical talent and powerful arm, he has shown inconsistency in his reads and ball protection. However, under the tutelage of head coach Kevin O'Connell, he could have an opportunity for significant development. O'Connell has demonstrated his ability to develop quarterbacks over the years, turning players like Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins, and Sam Darnold into functional pieces within his offensive system. At just 25 years old, Levis still has room for growth and could benefit from a structured environment like the Vikings. Minnesota has a history of giving quarterbacks looking for a second chance in recent years. With a well-designed offensive scheme and the presence of talented targets like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and T.J. Hockenson, Levis could develop without the immediate pressure of leading the offense. In addition, the Vikings' strong offensive line would provide better protection than he had in Tennessee, allowing him to focus on refining his mechanics and decision-making. Impact of Levis' possible arrival on the Vikings' planning. Levis' arrival could directly affect the hierarchy of the quarterback position in Minnesota. The franchise is currently banking on J.J. McCarthy as its future offensive leader, but having an option like Levis on the roster would give the team greater security in case of injuries or difficulties in adapting to the rookie. With McCarthy and Levis on affordable contracts, the Vikings would avoid the high cost of a veteran quarterback and could use the cap space to strengthen other areas of the team. Another important point is the impact on the locker room. If Levis is acquired and excels in practice or the preseason, it could spark an internal competition for the position, which could be beneficial for the development of both young quarterbacks. Healthy competition could accelerate McCarthy's development and ensure that the best player is on the field when the season begins. Whether as a backup option for McCarthy or as a potential long-term project, acquiring Levis at an affordable price could be a smart move for the franchise. It remains to be seen whether the Vikings will make that move or look elsewhere to strengthen their quarterback group before the season starts. Either way, the move reinforces the franchise's strategic approach to maintaining a competitive roster that is prepared for the challenges of the future.